Let's talk about Merge Dragons. Most days I still love the game. I adore the community, and right now that's the thing that's keeping me playing. There's friends I've made here that are like family. I started playing in 2019 to help relatives and family friends. I didn't intend to be playing still in 2020, let alone in 2025. I never dreamed that I'd have come to be recording this video after nearly 3,000 videos about merge games. And the majority of those are merge dragons. Alright, so I'm a content creator, so what? That does give me a sense that I have a duty to use my voice when there's others who might be afraid to. I don't expect special treatment. That wouldn't be fair to others. However, and this is a running theme here, I expect equal treatment. Not just for myself, but for everyone. And that's what we've got to talk about today. There is disparity in regards to some of the events, and this has been going on for months now. Things are no longer fair, and they're not even remotely equal when players don't receive the same events. It's one thing if it is a new event that is being tested, a new thing like the Wildlands was. But when it's your regular out of camp events and you start playing silly buggers with it, it's not right and it needs to stop. So let's roll the clock back. Late 2023 through late 2024, every month we were given a calendar that told us what the majority of the out of camp events were going to be. There were still some surprises left. Like, some events might not be listed at all. And of course, we didn't know for sure when the camp and chill was going to be, if there was going to be one. But those events were available to everyone and anyone who had their game up to date and who met the base requirements for entry. Not just a few people had it, everyone did who met those requirements. But now we're having a problem where somebody might not have it at all, or they might have one event rather than another one, and it's really kind of crappy when it involves new dragons. So yeah, let's get to November 2024. There was a new dragon and a new event on the calendar. Excuse my tripping over my tongue here. It started out with one name, and then it was changed to Harmonies Beyond. It was a Day of the Dead theme. I and others were really excited for this new theme and this new dragon. I was more excited about that event than I had been about much of anything in the game for a long time. My anticipation was high. I was so eager. I was sitting there waiting for the event to start. And it couldn't come soon enough. I woke up early because I was excited. And let me tell you, I got kicked in the goddamn teeth. At first it was like, okay, so the event didn't start on time. Hey, it's a popular theme. There's people excited. Maybe the servers are overloaded. We're not going to worry about it. Just hang in there, reload, and hang out with my stream chat. People were chiming in that their event was showing up, or that they got some other event, some different event entirely. Well, maybe it's a glitch. Maybe things didn't go quite right, and rather than have us not get an event at all, a filler was given to us. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But you know what? We were lied to. That is essentially how it feels. We were lied to, but we didn't know yet. So we soldiered on, thinking that it was a once off occurrence, and we kept accepting that there must have been a glitch. We kept telling ourselves that. We didn't think we'd been lied to in that moment. We didn't get the scheduled event. We were in the test group, got Realm of Dreams, an overplayed event that was late to show up. Felt like it was an emergency filler rather than getting that Harmonies Beyond, that Day of the Dead Dragon. But suspicions aside, like I said, we gave it the benefit of the doubt. Something must have gone wrong. This'll get fixed, we thought. Surely this is going to get fixed. Well, didn't get fixed the way we hoped. Oh, no, no, no. There was outcry, of course, because, it wasn't fair that we didn't get that new dragon. December rolls around, and for the first time in over a year, there was no schedule or calendar of events. No promises were made. No way we could be upset, right? Surely by suddenly not giving a calendar of events after all that time, nobody's gonna notice, right? And of course, because there's no promises been made, nobody can get mad if you don't get what everybody else is getting, right? Well, guess what? We're not stupid. And by omitting a calendar altogether, that's about the same as admitting, hey, we know we fucked up. Yes, you did. You fucked up big time. So it's clear to us that Harmony's Beyond fiasco, that was no accident. And there was sop and lip service. Bit of gaslighting from support, too, for good measure, I'm sure. Goodly few of us feel like the community liaison pretty much lied to us because, you just all of you are so upset to think that, our trust was shaken. Yeah, it wasn't just shaken, it was dropped in the dirt, probably pissed on, and kicked down the road. Well, this no calendar business, that was a further insult. And it just makes everything seem oh so intentional. Which it was, obviously, after later things came along. By not producing that calendar and continuing to not produce one or announce events ahead of schedule, and it just further drives the point home, cementing that discontent with not only the events but other underlying issues. Alright, so December saw some more A/B testing, where there were pools of players that had increased point requirements to gain the same rewards. Now I get it, the game is in new hands. Zynga's name might be on it, but, Take-Two is the one that owns it now. And maybe the devs now don't know that this has been tried before in Merge Dragons, where there were increased requirements for points for the events. And the players then, just as now, were outraged and incredibly disappointed. Maybe the vocal quote-unquote few have moved on, and it was time to try again after all. You see higher point requirements in Merge Magic, the often forgotten and regularly neglected sister game. And there wasn't enough of a fuss made over in Merge Magic to get the changes reverted there. But riddle me this, what are the player numbers like there? Have they come back? Not hardly, if you go by the size of the associated communities. Not all of that can be blamed on just that one aspect, of course. After all, as I said, it is the neglected little sister game. Don't mind the whispers from the attic, as that game has waited over 2 years for new levels, but I digress. So, December had fuck around and find out with the point requirements for events. Bad luck, guys. Real bad. But, at least we didn't have people getting entirely screwed for getting a new dragon. No, that waited till January. January 10th. I was live streaming, as I do most every Friday. And I always start off with merged dragons. Wait, no, tell a lie. I don't always start off with merged dragons anymore. I used to, though. But less than 5 minutes into live streaming that day, I was swearing at the game. And I ranted for another 5 minutes or so, and then I shut down the stream and I walked away. I didn't finish the event. I was not about to play an event where I was not getting the same new rewards that other players were getting. That event put a very sour tone to my entire weekend. Not just the day, the entire weekend. Not just because I didn't get the same event and I didn't get the new dragon, but because now it had reached the point where I felt disrespected, and worst of all, that, as I have said a few times now, I felt very lied to. Trust is earned, my friends, and trust lost is infinitely more difficult to earn back after it has been dragged through the dirt. So my reaction to the Magical Knits Jungle Camp event is summed up pretty well in the clip that I'll have linked down in the description below. It isn't for young ears. And if I didn't have a channel, I'd have a much easier time about just quitting the game outright or taking a long break. I've already stopped spending money on it. And I had been tempted this last month to spend money on Merge Magic, but if things are going crappy in Merge Dragons, I'm not going to spend money in the sister game either, because I don't want to put money in that company's pocket at all. I wasn't going to touch any of their products. So, no game should make somebody feel like I felt, and you'll hear in that clip. And I'm finding it harder and harder to make time for a game that disrespects my time. I have plenty of other fine merge games and non-merge games that I can make content for. And quite a few that aren't from the same game studio. The ones that aren't from the same game studio have more quality of life and better features. They've taken what Merge Dragons does and they've made something infinitely better. And I highlighted one of those games the last time I got screwed over by Merge Dragons about a new event. So, at the very least, every time I get sucker punched with this absolute bullshit, I'm not going to finish that event. And I strongly encourage anyone who does not need those dragons from whichever event that they get, if it's not the same one, boycott it. If you can. As for me, I'll stream a competitor game instead. And sure, in the chat, we could still talk about Merge Dragons while I'm playing the other game or games. But I'm not going to give Merge Dragons my time when they're giving me the middle finger. I'll quite happily enjoy myself with an event from one of the competitors that do things better. So that's where I stood in January. Now it's February, the 7th of February. And I have been, holding myself back from making this video all month. And yet I am still hot around the collar about this. So 7th of February, we're going to get precise here. Yet again, Merge Dragons has given some players one event that has a new dragon and a new theme, and others got insulted with a different event that doesn't give the new dragon as a reward. That's following A/B testing, where some players did not get a midweek event at all. So there is no certainty that there will be a second opportunity to obtain those dragons anytime soon. So now they've added that insult to injury yet again. And I found out shortly after I started playing that I got the older Cupid's Garden event rather than the new one. Fine. Whatever. I've got other stuff I can do. And I am going to take myself off and do something else. And in that case, I streamed Merge Adventure. A game that has a better cloud save than Merge Dragons. Wait a minute. Better? They have a working cloud save. That's infinitely better. They've also got cuter artwork. Some quirks, mind you. But it's got some quality of life improvements. They got some really nice stuff going on over there. And this is not sponsored in any sort of way. I'm just telling you how I see it. They have a better game. Dragon and Elves is also better. By a long shot. If you want something that's not massive, you want Merge Adventure. If you want something that has a ton more space and a ton more things, you might want Dragon and Elves instead. Both are fantastic other options. So if you're paying attention to the communities that have flourished around Merge Dragons, you might want to note that there has been a dramatic uptick in vocal departures. Some of these communities, you would swear it was an airport. And for every person that announces they're quitting, or that they're taking a long break, that they're going on hiatus, you can wager that there are hundreds or maybe even thousands who are quietly dropping their dragons in the recycle bin and kissing the game goodbye for the last time. Seriously, though, you need to pull your heads out of the sand. Or, they could pull their heads out of their asses in Merge Dragons Land. There's plenty of other problems and reasons that people are annoyed, disgruntled, and discontent. But this right here, this bullshit shenanigans with different events or no out-of-camp event, which also happened again this particular week that I am recording, the week on the 25th of February in 2025, where some folks got an event and others did not. So yet again, it's being done again. Ooh. Way to really make your players feel appreciated right there. So yeah, this stuff with the events, it could easily be the last straw for a lot of people. I know I'm finding it hard to be motivated. I don't know about you. Let me know down in the comments below. Is it too much to ask for equal treatment? That's all I'm going to say. All we want is equal treatment.